Okay, so I want to try and put a nudge bar on the Falcon. So I've taken off the, what do you call it, wind water deflector or whatever. We've got some big holes here and this is solid cross member. I'm going to put a little bit of flat bar in there that bolts on here and has an M8 thread there that I can then use to pick up a support. And I'm going to use this bracket here and run something under here to connect to it. Okay, so we'll transfer the hole pattern. Okay, it's moved a little bit. Yep, that's all good. We want a little bit of angle, something to come down to get a bit wider, I think. Alright, super solid. That should do it. Oh, good and solid anyhow. Okay, and a bit of flat to go up inside the car to put that will do nicely. Whoop, finger in lens. Okay, so I'll cut this one off to 70 and I need the angle to be about 50, so I'll mark all that up. Okay, here's a bit of a trap. I want the angle on this side and the rear bolt is closest to the radiator, but on this one the rear bolt is furthest away from the radiator, so when I'm marking up my holes I've just got to give it some thought so I don't make the brackets the right way round. Okay, had a slight issue here in that after I drilled the holes from this side I realised that that wasn't going to be any good. So I've gone for this one instead. That'd be a lot better, so I'll get them bolted up. Not sure exactly what's going on, but made both brackets the same. Still had to slot this one out considerably to get it to sit square with the end of the member there. So anyhow, we'll get it on C. So this is what's I made for up in here. And that's how it's going to go. I'll put an M10 in the middle of that, and that'll give me something to bind this, the cross beam that I'm going to put across here, up and up the front. So I've got my other one for the other side. Just got to mark now where the M10 thread's got to go. Okay, being a bit of a cheapskate here and try and do it with stuff I got. I had this 1.6 wall thick. I didn't quite think that was thick enough, so I found this bit of 2mm. It's got a bit of surface rust, but it's pretty good. So I think I'm going to go with that instead. Okay, tacked up that end. I'm just checking it now for it's clearing everything under the brackets there. The first time I tacked up the blue one it was banging around a little bit, but I've got pretty good clearance on this one. Just going to do some measurements before I tack up this end, just using a jack here to help me hold it in place. That's better. Last time doing that it was banging on the car, so that's a lot solider this one. So you can see I've got a pretty good line from there through here under there to come around. So okay, take it out, weld up properly. Okay, that's that bit done. Tidy it up a little bit, stick it back in the car and work on the next bit. Okay, So I've started bending up the bar, and that's sort of what I'm looking for. I was thinking I might have to do 2 bends, but yeah, I think I will. I need to put one around about here somewhere, and then a bit further down. Okay, so I've made a mark in the car where I want the slight return. There it is. And I'm going to have to put the former here, bend that up. So I'm going to need a line here somewhere to see on top of the former. So, around about 210. Yep. Same on this side. Good to me. Okay, we have a slight issue. I'm hoping it shows up. My line is about here. I can't get the pipe in and square, so I'm going to have to do a small bend, which will then allow me to get the pipe in up to here, which should be about right. So I'm just going to have to mark up 2 other spots and do it in 2 takes. Okay, so I put another mark at 140, further on than where we want. I've just got that in the centre of the former. Now I need this pretty square to the jig, to the press. Okay, here goes nothing. Now what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to take it to a certain height . See if it fits. Go up a little bit more, I'll go to 80. Okay. That's about 80 to the top of my bit of pipe. Okay, I've got a couple bends in it here now. I had to go a little further, and I'm not going to get it's hard to see without me disconnecting all this. It's in shadow anyhow, but yeah, it's not up to my line, so I'm going to see how far I can get it, and then
them there, mark the other side the same, and just do them both the same. Hope for the best. Okay, so there it is. It looks pretty good up under the car. I could hold it there, you'll see it soon. So I'm going to mark where to cut the length of the pipes off and move on to the next bit.
Okay, so I've marked where I'm going to notch out to put in a piece of flat bar. The flat bar will go across here, pick up the hole and get welded around that. I'll probably chamfer this off on a 45. I've marked up here where I've got to notch a little bit out because I want to recess this pipe into that just a fraction. So I'll get that all notched up. Actually, I'll mark the pipe as well so I can clean all the galv off. Then I can tack it all up, bolt the plates in, tack it all up. But that's sort of what I was looking for. Got it all fairly central and square, and this isn't. This is just something I had kicking around, but I'll end up putting a couple, probably just 130 diameter spotties. I'll put the brackets a fair way over, I reckon, and some up the side here. Here it is. Something like that, so that I can attach a bar for carrying things up the front. Yeah, that just like ruins the look of it, but that's the whole. I might actually make something that clamps on, so you drop it on and then some bolts clamp it on, and I might just have a little collar down here that it'll sit on. So we'll have a think about that. So I've made up these couple bits, which are fairly solid, but they were lying around. So all I've got to do is get a hole drilled in the right spot, get that bolted to the car, and then just weld them on. Tack them up and bring them back up here and weld them on properly. Okay, so after much minor bending and prodding and jacking and measuring, I've got it all sort of in there ready to start tacking it up. I can take it all out and weld it up properly. Okay, so now I've got it all welded up, bolted on. It's nice and solid. So I'm working on the air deflector. So what I've basically done is I've cut it just past so it'll slip back in under and put a little slit in it, which actually needs to go a fraction further. Although it may not be a bad idea because that keeps it a bit tight that way. It is going to rattle, I think, so I'm going to make a little bar that I can put in from behind and over here, and stick a couple bolts in there just to hold it together, because this one will have a bolt here, screw there, and two of these those little hook, these sort of things, holding it up about here and here, I think. And I'm thinking I'll probably even drill and tap a couple of little M6 or M5 bolts here and just bolt it up as well. But I think that'll be fine. I used to run my old Falcon without any. This is the previous owners. Keep the bugs out the radiator. Mesh. Anyhow, okay. Okay, time to mark it up and cut it out. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. This has got quite a belly. That's probably a better angle compared to that. That's quite flat now because it's up above this bar. So there's a rib here in the back. I'm going to cut it down a bit shorter so this here can actually go up and look more flush. I think that's going to work better. Okay, here we go. Pit cam. Good job I didn't hit the radiator. No chance. Okay. And yes, I know this isn't tapping fluid, but today it's better than nothing. Okay, 1 down, 2 to go. I've got these little M5 mushroom head socket head screws. I might even, after painting, put a bit bigger washer on so it's holding the plastic a little bit better. Alright, probably best to do the middle next. Must be where the little dot is, I suppose. Okay, number 3. Lovely. Okay, that's still going to wobble. So I have this, which I'm going to cut in half. I'm going to make 2 little tapped threads in here that I can then drop that above behind and then tighten this up and it'll just flex and pull tight. I don't think it'll flap at all. So I don't get any whistly noises in here, we should be fine. Okay, here's a little trick. If you're not that critical, like if this was really accurate, you'd measure it and everything. But this is just a little bracket. If you find the point where it balances, so there we go there, and I can see that's right next to that little mark.
So I'm just going to lob it off there. Yeah, okay, I'm 3 mil out. Close enough though. Oh, I can see the floor again. I've moved out on the edge here a bit more. So I've just cleaned up this bit of square tube. That's going to be my front bar on the car. A couple of these exhaust clamps. Compliments of Car Parts Plus. And that should work a treat. I'll be able to bolt it on, bolt it off whenever I want it. Okay, so we got the, if you can see that, line the bars up with the roof rack. Nice and level. Just going to put a bar somewhere across the middle just to keep it all square when I take it off. Okay, here's my rear, all made out of old scrap and cleaned up. I'll give it a lick of paint. It's going to spend most of its life in the back corner of the shed, so I think it'll be fine. And I just made a little bar there so I can put the number plate back there to make it completely legal. Alright, just have to finish off the front one now and put some little ends on it like this, stop things rolling off, and I'll give it a measure, see what the length is. Okay, front bar to rear bar, 5.1 meters, so it should comfortably carry a 6 meter length with, you know, 300 or 400 hanging out the front and out the back, so I'm quite happy with that. I can always put the ball on and hook up my trailer, and then there's nothing hanging out the rear that's going to bump into anybody. Okay, first coat of paint done. Let that dry, get them all bolted back on. First use, kayak on roof. Can still tow caravan. Should work well. I'll let you know whether it fell off or not when I get back. The final intended purpose was for cutting long lengths of tube and iron and gutters and any other rubbish I can throw up on the roof. So that's a 6.5 meter length of RHS. Probably should have had a bit more hanging out the back because it's 5.1 meters from rack to rack. So I could have probably had 750 out each end or something. So yeah, and that's it. And I've ordered some 7-inch spotties. So when I get them, I'll have to take that off, put some brackets on. So I might do a little quick YouTube with the spotties on.